So I really think that it's time.
Do you want to hang out and build this race car, or you want to go now?
So it's time to
Fast
go.
and Loud wasn't just another reality show, it was a full-blown adrenaline rush for anyone who loves classic cars. It was a full-on rush of adrenaline for people who love old cars tend to have big bodies. And even bigger personalities. At the center of it all was Richard Rawlings, who talked quickly and always moved. Who came up with Gas Monkey Garage. Each episode felt like a wild ride with fans kept coming back for more crazy custom jobs, tight deadlines, and risky buys. For more, but as time went on, things began to change. People came and went, and then the show stopped airing altogether. What really happened behind the scenes? Why did Fast and Loud end? Was it because of too much drama, or was it just the end? And a time if you've ever wondered why the cars stopped roaring and the cameras stopped rolling, you're not the only one. Just this article talks about the turns and questions that are still open. One of the most addicting car shows on TV. Let's get into it. How Rawlings became an instant icon among gearheads in 2012. He was a loud, fast-talking guy with slick back hair and a love for cars, quickly became a star on TV and completely changed reality TV. Richard Rawlings' show Fast and Loud was honest, wild, and what gearheads didn't know they needed until Fast and Loud Rawlings came along. He had already worked hard in the car business when he opened Gas Monkey Garage in 2002. Making it a real custom car shop, but the Dallas shop was already well known. Yes, but not a worldwide brand. That changed when Discovery Channel him and his team a chance to be on reality TV when Fast and Loud first aired. We were hooked right away. It wasn't just about fixing up old cars, it was about the deals, the drama, and the people. Like Richard added a spark to the screen as the part salesman. He didn't follow the rules, which is what made him so interesting. He was a rock star who liked cars. It was fun to see how Rawlings got along with the shop's bearded owner, Aaron Kaufman. They were the exact opposites, but mechanical genius made the show even better. Richard talked a lot and was the business brain, while Aaron was quiet and thought things through. Precise builder, but it worked. They'd look in barns and find broken-down cars. The people who buy tough cars argue about when to do it and then bring those junkers back to life. The fact that it was addicting and had great custom builds is what made Richard Rawlings, but what made him stand out was his drive. The man could sell anything, even a broken-down hot rod. A beat-up old Camaro, and even his own brand of Gas Monkey Garage quickly became more. It wasn't just a store, it became a lifestyle with t-shirts, hats, and energy drinks. Even a bar and grill. Richard turned it all into a huge business by the end of. He wasn't just a guy who liked cars in the first season. He was a full-on. You may have seen him on TV, and people loved his attitude and style. He brought flash to a scene that had mostly been underground or low-key. All of a sudden old cars were cool again, and flipping them was cool. Fun things to do. Fast and Loud's success wasn't just luck, Richard knew how to make it happen. In a way that felt new, he mixed car culture with entertainment to play the game. He made the world of custom cars feel like anyone could jump in, get dirty, and change something old into something amazing. Dodge endorsement deals. Smart move of the brand or too much exposure? By 2014 Richard Rawlings was going strong quickly, and Loud was a big hit on the Discovery Channel. Garage was making custom builds all the time, and Rawlings had become. Car fans know him for his loud personality, flashy style, and business sense. He was well known in the world of custom cars because of how hard he worked, so when Dodge came calling with an endorsement deal seemed like the best way to work together, so the partnership began. Rawlings started showing up in a lot of national TV ads for Dodge cars. It was very loud, with Hellcats blazing rubber and American muscle being pumped up. Quick and right on brand, Dodge wanted to reach out to younger customers and into the custom car scene, which was growing, and Rawlings was the one who made that happen. Besides, he already had a huge following and a cool, rebellious look. At first, the ads were a hit. People loved seeing Rawlings drive a donuts and a big smile like a kid in a candy store for a Challenger or Charger. It felt real, unlike some celebrity car ads that felt forced or stiff. Rawlings lived the life he was talking about. He wasn't pretending to be excited. Who really loved horsepower, speed, and making badass cars, but as the years went by, as time went on, some people began to ask a different question. Was it too much? From 2014 to 2017, Rawlings was quickly everywhere. The new season of Loud was still airing, and Garage Rehab had just started. Gas Monkey. It wasn't long before his restaurants opened up and energy drinks hit the shelves. Now Dodge ads were on TV. Some fans thought that Rawlings was becoming more of a brand online than builder, the guy who used to feel like some critics said that Gearhead Underdog was beginning to resemble a company logo. People began to call it overexposure, which meant that Rawlings had taken on too many tasks. He was busy with commercials instead of building and flipping cars in style, which made him famous. Negotiating business deals and selling goods all the time. For a long time some Fast and Loud fans even stopped watching because they thought the show had changed from the garage to the marketing machine, but by 2017 the buzz was still there. Commercials started to air less often as the weather got cooler, and Rawlings refocused on his own projects. The work on his garage was getting better, and in some scenes, there were hints that Fast and Loud might be coming to an end. Partnership ended quietly and without much fuss, and the beard genius behind. If you've seen Fast and Loud, there's a guy who Aaron Kaufman with his epic beard seemed to stand out right away. Aaron quickly became a fan favorite thanks to his great attitude and crazy skills behind the wheel. Richard Rawlings was the loud, high-energy lead singer of Gas Monkey Garage. Aaron was the creative force behind the builds and the one who made the crazy car ideas come to life. On cars since he was a child. He was naturally good at fixing things and had a before Fast and Loud came out on TV in 2012, he had a real passion for custom builds. Was already working at Gas Monkey Garage to help Richard fix up cool old cars, but when the show came on, aired, everything changed quickly. Suddenly, millions of people watched Aaron. Aaron was well known for more than just being able to fix things. Anything, it was the way he did it. He wasn't flashy or loud, he was calm. Fans loved seeing him become rusty and forgetful because he was so focused and knowledgeable. He turned ugly cars into beautiful machines, and he worked hard on every job. No matter if it was a hot rod, muscle car, or custom truck, the show often had them. Aaron was all about the build, but was also interested in drama and meeting deadlines. Aaron didn't really like being in the spotlight, and as the show got bigger, so did with tighter deadlines, more filming, brand deals, and non-stop schedules, things are getting tough. It was getting old for him because Aaron wasn't just a mechanic, he was also an artist. Real-life TV was always moving quickly, so he didn't always have time or space to build things the way he wanted, but over time, fans began to notice something wasn't right with Aaron. Sometimes they looked tired, angry, and less excited about the work it became. His desire for more freedom to work on projects that challenged him, not just those that made good TV, became clear in 2017. Aaron quit Fast and Furious after years of being on the show. Tensions were building behind the scenes, as Aaron Kaufman's anger got louder. The chances are that if you liked Fast and Loud, you didn't just watch it for Richard Rawlings. It's quiet while people watch Aaron Kaufman with his famous beard. Aaron quickly became a fan favorite thanks to his confidence and crazy mechanical skills. Planned and built many of the coolest things at Gas Monkey Garage, and every time he picked up a wrench, it was clear how much he loved cars, but by 2015, at some point, people noticed that Aaron wasn't interested in it anymore. What was going on? Fast forward a little and Loud was already a big hit, and Gas Monkey Garage there was a lot of pressure to meet tight deadlines and make big builds. It was like a fast-paced TV grind. It looks exciting on screen, but things are very different behind the scenes. It's hard enough to work in a real garage while meeting TV deadlines where what a stress to have to make sure everything is ready for the camera in an instant. Someone like Aaron, who was very proud of doing things the right way, that even though the pressure may have been building, he wasn't just putting together flashy for show cars, he wanted creative and well-made ones of high quality. But as the show got more popular, business started to take over. There were more sponsors and brand deals. By 2015, he had shorter shoot times and less time to do the things he really loved. People started to notice small signs that Aaron might be getting angry. He looked tired and didn't seem as interested in some builds, and they sometimes clashed. They had very different ideas about how to lead a project with Richard. Richard made a lot of noise in the shop and was always thinking about what Aaron, on the other hand, was the artist, someone who cared more about how things were done than how fast they were going. There were rumors that Aaron wasn't happy with the creative freedom he had and wanted to take on more unique, hard-to-finish projects that pushed the limits of what a custom car could do. That's possible, but those builds didn't always fit the fast and loud format that was meant to save time and money. Over time, that might have made him feel stuck and unhappy, and then there was the fame. Aaron never seemed like the type to want something, while Richard loved being a TV star and businessman. Behind the scenes, Aaron seemed more at ease doing his thing with cameras rolling all the time. That much attention might have taken a toll. It's one thing to build a car you love, but it's a whole other thing to do it while other people are looking at it. Are filming your every move. By late 2015, fans had to get something. People online wondered if Aaron was going to quit the show, but he didn't. Deal with it straight on, but the mood was different. Fun and relaxed. Things were getting tense between Richard and Aaron, and people were asking, is Aaron okay, or is he getting tired of it all? They were right, though. Aaron didn't officially leave the show until 2017, but many fans think that was the start of his departure. The decision was made back in 2015, and that's when the real anger started to show that Rawlings was the garage rehab pitch. Richard Rawlings was keen to leave Fast and Loud by 2016 and was on top of the world. His hit show Fast and Loud had made him a well-known name among car fans. Lovers with his loud personality, signature sunglasses, and love of fast cars. Richard had built a business and a brand, but things were going on behind the scenes. Things changed that year, and Rawlings pitched Discovery Channel a new show called Garage Rehab. The big question was whether this was just a smart move to make his business bigger, or did he already have plans to leave Fast and Loud? Let's go back a bit. Fast and Loud had been on since 2012 and quickly became one of Discovery's most popular reality shows. The plot was simple: Richard would buy old, broken-down cars and fix them up. Aaron Kaufman built the star with the help of his team at Gas Monkey Garage. A laid-back mechanic with a beard whose fans loved the way he and Richard worked together. Aaron was the showman who built the things, but as the years went by, there were more cameras, bigger builds, and tighter deadlines. When sponsors put more and more pressure on the show, Garage Rehab came into play. The plan for fixing up the garage was simple, but smart. Richard would go across the country and help auto shops that are having trouble get back on their feet. For mechanics, he'd come in and figure out what was wrong, usually with money. He teamed up with others to help fix the problems caused by bad management, bad equipment, or bad leadership and give the place a complete makeover. Along with Chris Stevens, a garage designer, and Russell Holmes, a project manager, the three would bring in tools, clean up the workspace, and give the owners a second chance. Richard thought it made sense. He knew how to make Gas Monkey a success and was good at business. Knew what worked in the car business and was cool enough on TV to carry another show, but the pitch came at the wrong time. Thoughts: was this a new adventure with Fast and Loud, or was it a backup plan? Some fans believe Rawlings was already sick of the grind at Gas Monkey and the drama of reality TV. Aaron Kaufman was said to have been when Garage Rehab finally aired in 2017. People were unhappy and thinking about leaving. Got pretty good reviews from fans, who liked seeing how different garages did. And how Richard's team stepped in to help. This wasn't about fancy cars. It was about saving small businesses this time, and it showed a more serious side. Even though Rawlings kept his loud and sure of himself attitude, there was a thoughtful side to him. In the end, maybe it wasn't, quit fast and loud wasn't about quitting, it was about changing. Richard Rawlings was smart enough to know that TV shows don't last forever because he pitched Garage Rehab. You can see that he wasn't just a one-show wonder, he was building a media empire, and this was the next step. No matter what, 2016 was a big year of change for Richard. It's unclear whether Rawlings took a chance on a new idea out of passion or as part of a plan. Or a little of both. Garage Rehab showed that Rawlings was still working hard. Aaron, if you were a fan of Kaufman quits because of creative differences or personal betrayal. If you heard Fast and Loud, you knew Aaron Kaufman wasn't just another guy who turned with his big beard and smooth skin, he was the heart of the show for many people. Aaron became a fan favorite because of his bad attitude and crazy mechanical skills. When word came out in 2017 that Aaron was leaving the show, it was a shock. A lot of people were shocked, and the big question was, did he leave because of creative? Were there differences, or was there something more going on that made this happen? That moment hit so hard that you have to remember how well Fast and Loud worked as a show. Learn how to buy cheap old cars, fix them up quickly, and sell them to make money. Richard Rawlings was the showy lead singer and business brain. Aaron was the quiet genius behind the builds. He was the kind of person who could fix a rusty, take a junk item and turn it into a dream machine. At least the balance worked. At first, but things began to change over time. Aaron became more. He was angry because he thought the show was focusing too much on meeting tight deadlines. As he said in later interviews, not enough on craftsmanship. He wanted to work on bigger, more difficult projects. He wanted to do creative builds, but his busy TV schedule didn't let him. Not only wanted to make cars for the camera, he also wanted to make something that would last and mean something. There were hints of tension behind the scenes, even though Richard and Aaron seemed to get along well on TV. Aaron didn't always look happy. Some people said he looked tired. We even checked. There were rumors that there was more to the story than just creative. There were disagreements, and when Aaron finally said he was leaving in early 2017, he stuck to it. He told her it was time for him to move on and do things his own way, but fans couldn't help but wonder if he and Richard did something. Was there a fight? Richard Rawlings seemed surprised by. He told the public that he didn't see the departure coming and that he was very sad, but he also said he understood Aaron's choice and wished him well. Fans are still not sure if those words were real or just for the cameras. After leaving Fast and Loud, Aaron didn't just disappear, as we talked about today. It wasn't long before he announced his own show, Shifting Gears with Aaron Kaufman, which started in 2018. The show let him build in any way he chose, which meant it was slower, more detailed, and as he worked on his craft, it was clear he was trying to stay true to his roots and make things different from what he saw at Gas Monkey Garage by licensing the Gas Monkey name. Richard Rawlings made a big move with his brand, but some people saw it as a sellout plan. He took a new step with his well-known brand by licensing the Gas Monkey name. Fans of Fast and Loud who had been following them for years were surprised by this move. Was Rawlings making a smart business move, or was he giving up on the very Richard Rawlings built Gas Monkey Garage, the brand that made him famous? It grew into a brand, something rather than just a car shop. People knew right away what it was, from hats and t-shirts to restaurants and Gas Monkey drinks. Gas Monkey did more than just build hot rods, and in 2019 Richard chose to really promote that brand by letting other businesses license the name. This way, other businesses could pay to use the Gas Monkey name on their own drinks, like tequila and beer. Brands of car parts and more. On the business side, it looked like a brilliant idea. Move. At first, fans were happy to see the name Gas Monkey everywhere. Was becoming a way of life. You could get a Gas Monkey drink at a bar. You can buy the gear at big stores or see the logo at races and events. Rawlings even hinted at international partnerships. The brand was known all over the world all of a sudden. It looked like Richard was building an empire from a business point of view, but not everyone liked the change. Fans began to wonder if the Gas Monkey name was being used too much. People who loved the show in the first place were taking a break from the garage and the builds. As flashy partnerships took the lead, the focus on cars slowly gave way to just making money. Richard, on the other hand, didn't seem to mind the criticism he often got. Told them how hard he worked to build the brand and how licensing it let him grow without being tied down. He went to the shop every day and said many times that he wasn't just a gear besides, he was a businessman, and getting a license was just the next step. Giving up the Gas Monkey name was a big deal, and it showed how far Richard Rawlings had come. Quickly went from fixing things in Dallas to making a name for themselves all over the world. What really happened to Richard Rawlings was pushed back by Fast and Loud for years. One of the most watched car shows on TV, it had cool cars and all the right stuff. There were funny parts, big builds, and of course the loud and brazen Richard Rawlings at the center of it all, but after 8 years on air, the show suddenly ended in 2020. Don't make any big announcements or give a big ending. Nothing happened, leaving fans to wonder what happened. Did Discovery end the show? It's more important to know why Richard left than to wonder if he did. This show that a lot of people loved ended quickly, and Loud first aired in Rich Rawlings and his Gas Monkey garage crew quickly became well known in 2012. Names: people loved seeing old, beat-up cars get fixed up and turned into shiny hot rods. Real-life drama and car restoration were mixed on the show, which made it fun for everyone. Who weren't huge fans of gear by the year 2020? Fast and Loud had 16 seasons, which is a long time for a TV show, especially in the reality. TV is a world that changes quickly, but fans still watch it even after all these years. People were still watching, so why did it end in December 2020? He finally talked about the big problem that everyone was talking about when he said in an interview that Fast and Loud was over for good. Here's the catch: Richard says it wasn't Discovery's choice, he was the one who left and said, "I've left Discovery," he said, "we're done." Richard said he wanted to have more.